Yo, 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 Cash's Candy Classics live. We're here. Alright, we're going to go over this 62 Cadillac. It's getting full front and rear suspension. First thing you're going to do is get the car safely in the air. Whether you're using jack stands or a lift. Take the rear tires off. Pull the fender skirt off out of the way. First thing you're going to do is remove that bolt from both sides. That's your brake line. And then what you'll do is you'll safely remove the spring from both sides, set it down, and we'll pick up from there in just a minute. Alright, so I got the spring clamp down. And then what I normally do is put like an exhaust jack. I'll put one under each side, or you can use a jack in the center of the head if you're down on the ground. Release the shock out of there. And once you got that spring collapsed, then you can let this down a little, and that spring will start bringing itself out of there. And then what you'll do is you'll do that. See, it's loose now. So I'll take that out, and I'll do that on both sides, and then we'll go from there. Another thing I can say, if you're putting on the rear links with the Wishbone, if you got the spring in, you got the shock loose, this is loose, no more pressure, and you can just remove this bolt and swing that arm down so you can go ahead and get the spring out and take it off. If not, then you just have to maneuver this spring on out of there. You have to maneuver that spring out. Alright? Cool. Alright, so took that bolt out, rear link right there, spring came out. So now you're ready to put the rear link back in this side. And what you'll do is you'll hold it side by side to that one, turn it out until the bolts go through both at the same time. And then you'll take this side and fold it up into the front bracket here. And this is where you might have to bend these out some. Alright, so measure out your link bar to your factory link bar. It might be an instance where you have to take these brackets. Over the years, people have tightened them down, over tightened them, bend them out a little bit, and then get it in there. Your bag will bolt through the center of that bar up into the bag, and that's the rear link bar there installed. Here, when you're putting on the link bars, and then put one in right here in that hole, this end, the back behind where the shock goes, and then this will pull your rear end back so you get this hole lined up. Might have to tap it up. And then you'll put your bolt in there. Like that. And then you'll move on to the wishbone. So there you got your ball joint in the top of the rear end. You got one bolt on each side. You'll pull those out, pop that ball joint out. That'll free up where your wishbone will go right in there. The main reason we use a wishbone is because this area here binds onto that rear end, which keeps you from laying out the car. Using the wishbone alone without tunneling or notching the car will get you about an inch lower. And I usually do this after I get my 2 link bars in. That way I know my rear end's stationary where it's going to be. Pull them 2 bolts out, pop that ball joint loose. Then you'll get your wishbone, looks like this, wrapped up by my lovely wife Stephanie, because she makes sure everything is good and go, ready to go. And you'll take it out. Now you're probably going to need a knife. And then you'll get a package once you get it open like this. Link bolts and sleeves. The sleeves you'll push through both of those, and then you'll have your stainless steel pin ball joint that we have made and some Loctite. This here will go in the bottom. There's a snap ring right here, and that snap ring needs to face up. You'll put some Loctite on this so it can't go back itself out. And we'll show you how to get it up in there. After you torque your bolt, put your Loctite, get your sleeves in. This will just slide right over the back of the rear end into your 2 brackets. And then right down in your rear end like that. And then you'll put the washer and the nut. Right here you'll put your 1/2-inch bolts, torque them down too. Alright, so I pulled the other wishbone out. It has a bolt there and a bolt there. Pull it out, slide it back in, and then slide your stainless pin we have made back into there. Torque everything down, and you'll be ready to roll. See how much clearance you got there. Alright, so this is what the tubular suspension installed looks like. It gives you all new poly bushings. The ball joint is now replaced with a stainless steel pin that we have made. Full poly, fully adjustable. That gives you way more articulation with that stainless pin. I just run factory shocks back on the back. No need for nothing special because your air suspension is going to be good. That's it. Install, probably about 2 hours that took me at the most.